had the resorts open for almost a month, exactly, a little over a month. When it comes to the resorts, this week we've definitely felt, ever since 4th of July really, but really this week we've definitely felt a change in the resort guests that we have. We really haven't had any guest issues, but we've slowly started to encounter guests who have more of an expectation than before. Before, our guests were like very like, you know, hi, I'm here, what am I allowed to do, what can I do, type of a thing. They were just here to have a good time and to enjoy themselves. This was also before the parks were open. Now that the parks are open, the resorts are really kind of like a, well, if I have to make a Disney park pass for a lot of people. I know the parks have only been open for a short period of time, but they've already made an effort on our resort guests, the type of guests we've been getting. If it wasn't for the fact of, I feel, having been to the parks, I feel a little different about going to the parks often. I still want to go to the parks, but like I don't have that urge as much to go as often. There is only so much that you can do to keep this virus away. Which is why you yourself have to take the precautions, which I don't have to tell you what those are. You know what the precautions are, even if simply stay home type of a thing. I'm trying to remember that these are the tough times that we're going into now, of people having the controversy of should we be open, should we not be open, and then those who don't really care about the health. That is another thing, is I've encountered a lot more people who like don't care about the health standards and things. Like I've had to tell people to put their face masks on a lot more this week. Just be careful. You know, Disney is safer than most places. I will say that. I do feel safer at Disney than any other place. Disney's the only place that I've gone to regularly since this whole quarantine thing, COVID, whatever. So I do feel safer here than anywhere else, but that doesn't mean that you should be going often and every day and exposing yourself to it. I have to because I work here, but anyway. So I've made a revelation. I'm in the hall today, first time in forever. I made a revelation that the reason why we're getting so many guests that are like kind of more aggressive or frustrated versus the guests that we first had was the guests that we first had were DVC. They've been there, done that. They've visited the resorts. They spend a lot of time in the resorts, obviously, because they've invested so much in spending time in the resorts. Versus the guests we're getting now that the parks are open, are possibly either guests who they got a reservation because they needed it to get a park pass, or it's their first time in the resorts, or they're not used to staying in the resorts often, so on and so forth. And so since they're paying extra just to get a Disney park pass, they're expecting more service. Like we've had a lot of guests just today coming into the hall asking, you know, why we don't have this, why we don't have that, you know, like being upset that we don't have this available or that available. And it's been stressful, but I mean, it's not our fault. That's just how things are, and unfortunately it's gonna be a long rest of the year. I actually had some time. We had like a little unofficial group meeting amongst my fellow CAC cast, discussing, because someone brought up, we were talking about holidays, because I watched Muppets Christmas Carol. That was the last movie that I played in the hall, and holidays came up, and so we were talking about like what we're doing for Halloween, because we typically start planning special activities and things like a month or so in advance, so that way everything is planned and ordered and so on and so forth. And so we were talking to our coordinator, like, what do we do for Halloween? And she shrugged her shoulders and she said the same thing we did for 4th of July. Themed crafts, themed, you know, activities poolside. And that's about it, because there's really not a whole lot more that we are allowed to do right now. And it makes me sad, you know, and that also became like a conversation. She was like, is there any, now that we've been open for a month, is there any changes that you guys would like to see to shifts or to activities or whatever? And we all looked at each other and we're like, we're okay with what we have, considering there's not much change that can be made, you know? It's not like the restrictions have lifted at all. It's not like that they're going to anytime soon. You know, my only suggestion was possibly ordering more games that we could play in the pool. Just that way there's more of a variety, because I told him, I said I like playing games in the pool. Just the games that we currently have sometimes end too quickly, and so I don't have anything else without stopping and sanitizing. So even if it was just like having more of what we already have. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot more we can do. This is but a season. It may be an extended season, and nobody is happy about it. But unfortunately, there's only so much that we can do, and it sucks being a cast member, being one that I'm supposed to be able to fix things, supposed to be able to make people smile and make magic happen, that I can't do much. But anyway, I am still enjoying my job. I still would not want to be anywhere else than where I am. I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I have to do what I have. So, hey guys, it is raining. We're still being restricted to not be able to do activities with the kids that involve, like, we can't give something to them that they then give to somebody else, like for example hot potato, and they really don't want us playing games unless they're in the water that involve a lot of small pieces. For example, we play a game called Critter Roundup. I throw a bunch of toys in the pool, they go and pick them all up basically, and then we sanitize them afterwards. Now, games played in the pool like that are okay because the chlorine does help with sanitization. But any game like that played outside the pool is kind of difficult. Even when we hand out prizes, I've gotten the okay for giving out prizes to a certain point. But if we do give out prizes, I count how many kids are going to be getting a prize, throw them into the pool, and then they go and they pick whichever one they want. So it's not only just like a game, but they're also able to go and, get them in a safe way that is also sanitizing the toy in the process. Right now we're doing poolside activities around 2:33 until around 4:30. Then we do tie-dye from 4:30 to about 6. And then we go out for activities again from 7 to 8. We can't really extend that time period too much because we also then have movie every other day at 8:30. We are still adding to our community hall reunion station. The only issue with that, and the reason why we haven't had much change with that, is because for whatever reason we've been having major issues getting things delivered to us. From what I heard this week, there was some sort of delivery problem where some things arrived at the fort, or we didn't get everything that we ordered, or it was ordered from the wrong place, which is really obnoxious because we've done everything that we can, which is more so than we typically do to order things, and so that kind of is frustrating, especially when like community hall needs us to order more things because we don't have a whole lot. So on all that note, 25th, I am working children's activities poolside, and I am planning a fun poolside day of Christmas in July activities, and I am stoked about it. I pulled out the Christmas crafts for Reunion Station. I pulled out the Christmas prizes. I have to dig through, because I have a couple days off before then. I have to dig through my Christmas stuff and try and find Christmas earrings and my Christmas necklace and my Christmas ears, and it is going to be Christmas in July on Saturday, and I am stoked about it because it's been the only thing giving me something to be excited for, since most likely the holidays will be canceled, since we've already decided that we don't think we could do anything special for Halloween Day, which is really sad. But anyway, I'm pulling up to work. I'll end the vlog here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to wear your mask.